So in today's video then, we're looking at loft around the greens. Do we need to play the high lofted wedge everywhere, or are there other clubs that we could potentially use? And what's the decision process behind making that choice? So I've got two clubs with me today. I've got a 58 degree, which is the equivalent to a lob wedge, and a pitching wedge. And I'm going to use both of these in today's video and show you how in certain shots the 58 degrees is going to be the best choice, in certain shots the pitching wedge is going to be the best choice, and what decision process happens behind the scenes to get up and down most effectively. So just before we get going then, 95% of you still haven't yet hit that subscribe button. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit like as well on this video if you enjoyed today's content, and do make sure to drop us a comment below. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Let's get into it. So then let's chat about when to use loft around the greens. I see a lot of people getting this wrong on a day-to-day basis, and that's why I wanted to make today's video. This shot number one, we're going to this flag here and from these balls here. Now, I have roughly 3 or 4 foot to the edge of the green, and then probably around about 15-20 foot to the flag. You would be amazed the amount of people I see on a day-to-day basis hitting a high lofted wedge flop shot from here. And my question then for those people is, why? Why are you making it so hard for yourself when realistically you only have to carry the ball 4 or 5 feet? You're bringing in so much risk by adding a load of club head speed. It's worth giving it a go. I'm going to try it. So I've got a 58 degree and I'm going to have to land this realistically past this feather with a high lofted wedge. I've played that as well as I could possibly play that shot. And that, in fairness, is the first wedge shot I've hit today, so I'm impressed. You could see that that is really high risk. A slight chunk on the strike or a slight thin. I'm in that hedge apologising to the neighbours. Oh. What's the easier option? Now, I realistically, in this spot, don't need a 58 degree. Yes, I've played that well, but I wouldn't be able to do that every time. So with the pitching wedge then, all I'm doing is playing this almost like a putter. I'm just trying to chip it over this little bit of grass, 3-4 feet. I'm just gonna let the ball roll on the green like a putt. Once it's on the green, I feel it's more under control, certainly. So let's try it. Let's see if I can hit that shot now that I've called it. Now, considering I didn't play that very well, that actually turned out pretty good. Let's try another one. And this is where the consistency of this is going to come in. If that's my new bad shot from here, rather than in that bush, I'm going to be a lot happier, and my scorecard also is going to be a lot happier. That was a better one. Ah, look at that. So I've taken so much danger out of play and actually given myself a much better chance to hole it as well. But you can see that I'm not having to work very hard to do that. I'm not having to rely on a strike. I'm not having to rely on an amazing technique. I'm just able to land the ball in the right sort of area and let the ball then release, hopefully, into the hole. Okay, so we're still going to that right flag. Now, for those of you at home, you're in a very lucky position. Don't worry, you guys don't have to hit this. I'll hit this. I'm going to take one for the team here. Now, you can see this shot is particularly hard. I picked the hardest shot pretty much that I could find. I have a bunker to carry. I've then got some rough. I then have a slope at the front of the green that slopes down towards me, and there's about 6 foot or so towards the pin, and that's it. That's all the room I have to play with. Now, loft here is going to be my friend. This is a time you can use that high lofted wedge. It's a good option. The less lofted option is going to start to bring in all the danger. It's going to start bringing in that front slope. There's no reason why the ball could roll up there a little bit and then roll back down, potentially back into the bunker. Equally, I've got nowhere to land it. I'm looking to land this ball on the flat, and that is where the high lofted wedge is going to come in. However, I'm going to hit one first with the low lofted wedge. I'm going to show you that this isn't the play. Let's see if I can pull this off. I mean, honestly, I didn't think I could have played that any better. And look at the result. I haven't even hit the green from here. So you can see, I mean, I genuinely thought I played that really well. And obviously it wasn't the shot to play. So now I'm going to get the high lofted wedge, the 58 degree. Why am I playing this? I'm playing this because I'm trying to land the ball on the flat. I'm trying to get it on the green. If I quickly run up for you, I don't normally run on camera. This here is the first flat spot. 1, 2, 3 paces, I have 9 feet. I'm going to be using that bank at the back, realistically, on a course. But yeah, 9 feet to play with, short of the hole, but beyond the slope. Oh, I could not play that any better. I hope the microphones picked this up today, because that's as good a shot as I can play from there. In the other scenario, when I've only got 4 foot of rough to work with, but more green, I can let the ball roll. In this one, I can't. So let's then go to one last shot where maybe they're a little bit 50-50, and we'll try and make the decision together. Do we play loft or do we play less loft? Just so I can show you here, I just want to show you the difference in results. So that was my less lofted option there. And then that is my higher loft. And this is what I mean, look at the slope here. And there we go. I honestly thought I was going to hold that. I'm pretty impressed from down there. So from time to time, you're going to have some decisions to make where actually you could use both these clubs, and both of them are sensible options. This is a shot that I found. So I probably have 10 feet or so to the front edge of the green, maybe a little bit more, maybe 12. Now I have a bit of a slope, which actually would stop the ball potentially for me if I was playing the lower lofted option. And then I have actually a bit of space here to the hole. I probably have 8-9 feet or so to the hole of flat ground, which means that yes, I could play the higher option as well. So really, in this scenario, it's what do you feel most comfortable with? What have you practiced the most? I'm going to try both shots. I'm going to give it a go. For me, let's start with the lower lofted option. I think, again, I'm trying to land this probably somewhere around the sort of front edge of the green, and I'm just going to let the ball try and release to the hole. So I'm just going to let it release. I know it's going to break a little bit left because of the slope. Oh, I think I played that relatively well. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that one actually. Obviously landed it just a tad short, but 4 or 5 feet, I'd take that. That's pretty tidy. Let's then try the higher lofted option. Potentially a little bit more risky for some of the high handicappers that are watching this, in which case then get good with the pitching wedge, but it doesn't mean stop using these altogether. Do keep using these. There's a lot of players that I coach that then struggle to take it to the next level because they're not used to using the high lofted stuff. So when they do get the shot over the bunker, they can't play it. But percentage options are really, really important. Let's see if I can give it a go. So just using the loft, using the bounce of the club. Oh, couple of feet short of where I wanted that to land. It's just held on. You can see the difficulty there with the slightly higher lofted shot. In fairness, if it had landed just on the flat, I think that was about perfect weight-wise. Just got a little bit unlucky, just caught that ridge. So maybe then, I mean, certainly I'm like everybody else. I've spent 3 months at home. I haven't had a chance to play much golf. So certainly when I'm getting back, the lower lofted clubs for me would just help with that feel and touch. They're a little bit more forgiving. You know, I probably landed the lower lofted shot, let's say a yard short. I've landed the high lofted one a yard short, and you can see the difference in the results. The lower lofted one's still going to help the ball roll to the hole. The higher lofted one there, as you see, just killed it in the slope. I couldn't not hit a good shot for you guys. I'm much happy with that. See, I just got the landing a little bit better. Just meant the ball actually then landed on that flat and then released a little bit for me. But as you see, not much difference actually in fairness in the end results, and took me a lot more tries with the higher lofted club. So guys, thank you very much for watching today's video. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch this. Now, that was how to use loft, or when to use loft effectively around the green. Just so many people that I see, certainly higher handicaps, that just don't know how to use loft effectively around the green, and it costs them so many shots. And you just think it's such a shame, because you see it often where players, certainly better players, they'll get good with a 60-degree wedge and they'll chip everywhere with a 60-degree. But actually, sometimes the pitching wedge option, even for the better player, might be the easiest shot and might actually help. Certainly under pressure situations, coming down 18, you've got to chip and a putt for a win, and you pull out the 60, and we've seen it a lot. Somebody blades it to the other side or chunks it. Actually, you could have used that pitching wedge, bumped it onto the green to 5-6 feet, giving yourself a real good chance then at hole in the putt. So hopefully, as I say, you found that useful. Just a bit of the decision process, a little bit of an idea of what's going on behind the scenes, probably in better players' minds of how they'll play the shot and why, and hope that helps you at home. So guys, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all very soon.